My name is Shaudy Best, and today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video. I'm not going to be dancing. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things that are really important and very important for me to release and just be transparent with you all about. I'm not going to be talking about anything that's dramatic, or I'm not trying to get views. I'm not trying to be the next viral video. I'm literally just talking to you all about me and letting you know, first of all, that I'm a real person. I'm not going to be talking about anything that I think would make me popular or make more people like me. I just want to talk about things that are real, things that are important, and things that can help a lot of people. I just think it's important for us to share our stories, and if you have an experience that you feel like you need to get off of your chest or share with the world, you should be able to do that without judgment. So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to talk about my life as a trans woman and my transition, which I've been doing for about, I want to say 5 to 6 years now. It's just been a really interesting experience. I've been through a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, and I've become someone that I never thought I could possibly become. I'm somebody now that was a dream to me years ago, and I don't know how to explain that other than to just say it. People don't even get to fully express themselves due to like society and how they'd be treated, how different their lives would be. It's just hard for anyone to truly be themselves without apology, without any kind of reservations or regret. It's really amazing when you can look at yourself in the mirror and just feel accomplished and feel like you finally found yourself. And I feel like I've finally found myself, and I've become someone who doesn't care what other people think, that doesn't let negativity get to them, that doesn't feel insecure. I don't feel sad anymore. I don't feel confused. I just feel like me. And that's probably like the best thing that you could hope for. So I just feel very blessed and very fortunate. Fortunate is definitely how I feel at this moment. But as a trans woman, sometimes that doesn't happen for some people, and my heart goes out to them because this is a really difficult experience, and it's something that you don't want to do alone. It's something that you want to celebrate, and it's something that you want to be happy about. You should be happy about becoming who you want to be and being who you truly are and being happy with yourself. Like, you should always be just full of joy, but sometimes it's just not like that. I just feel like we should all take a moment and just breathe and just focus and give yourself a break to just reflect and think. And that's, at least in my opinion, what helps me whenever I have any difficult moments. My transition started in Los Angeles in Southern California. At first I moved to Alhambra. I moved there with $500 in my pocket, and half of it was gone the minute I set foot there. So I was so happy to be there. I felt so blessed that I was given the opportunity to move in with someone that was kind enough to open their home to me. I felt very accomplished and it was my first time being out on my own. I was just so, you know that feeling of just being happy and you're uncertain of what's going to happen next, but you're still like so optimistic and so looking forward to every moment. It definitely just helps you to realize that life is short and you should just enjoy it and just do what you want to do. Yeah, just do what you want to do. But I was in Alhambra. I only stayed there for a few months and I got a job. And the job seemed okay at first, but this job was in Alhambra. It was down the street from where I was living, and I was really happy to be there. I was just like, I'm finally working, I'm independent, I'm paying my bills, I'm working hard. Like, I just felt like I was really doing it. And I was just treated so horribly there. And at this time I wasn't really sure of myself and I wasn't completely out and open, and I was still figuring myself out. They called me names, they lied about me and said I was being mean to customers, I was yelling at them, I was being rude, and that's just not the kind of person I am. So I felt very personally attacked and victimized, and it just wasn't a very good experience. So I quit that job, and then I got an opportunity to move downtown Los Angeles for about 6 months, I want to say. Yeah, it was about 6 months, and in those 6 months I learned a lot about myself. I started dating, and I just started realizing that I was different, and I didn't feel like a male. I felt female, and I felt I didn't know I was trans though. That's the thing. I did not know that that's what it meant, and that's what I was really expressing, because it was buried so far down that I wasn't able to express that, and I wasn't able to feel like I was being myself. At the end of the day, I wasn't. I ended up meeting someone that was a cisgendered male, and he was a straight male, and he was just a regular guy. He was cool. There was nothing about him that was strange. He was just very average and your everyday guy. And he basically told me that he doesn't even see me as male. And I just was like, at that time, like, that's not possible. Because in your mind, you're just like, oh, well, this is me. How could you not see that? And I wasn't understanding that he was expressing to me that he just felt like he was with a woman. And that was a moment that I realized that I was on a different path, and that I was on a very difficult path. It was different, it was difficult, it was very new to me. I wasn't around any trans women at this time, so I hadn't had any examples of which way to go, what to do. So I was just very lost, and it was very hard for me. But I got through it. I ended up moving back from Los Angeles to the Bay Area, and I told my parents that I wanted to transition. I was trans. I finally figured out what it was. I started to dig deep into myself and realize that I wanted to feel the way on the outside that I do on the inside, if that makes sense. And their first reaction wasn't the reaction I wanted, but it was kind of the reaction I expected. My parents didn't really understand what I was going through in my mind, in my heart, my feelings. They just felt like I was doing something that they weren't familiar with. I understand to an extent how they felt at the time because I kind of sprung it on them. It wasn't something we had talked about, or it was brought up a few times when I was younger, but I denied it, and I was very like, this isn't what I want to do. So some people don't get this far, some people don't want to do this, but I wanted to medically transition. I looked it up on the internet and I just did my research. I looked up what was in the medication you have to take, hormone replacement therapy, the symptoms, the side effects, everything. I looked it all up and I realized that there's something called anti-androgens in the medication they give you for blocking testosterone, and naturally it can be found in green tea. I did something very scary, very risky, and very different. I drank a lot of green tea, and when I mean a lot of green tea, I mean I drank like so much green tea, gallons and gallons a day. It got to the point where I wasn't eating food, I wasn't doing anything but drinking green tea because I wanted to make sure I did what I needed to do. And what ended up happening was I started the transitioning process, and my hormones and my testosterone started to drop, my skin started to change, my body started to change. I lost so much weight. So much happened to me. My body was aching. I couldn't walk. I couldn't smile. I couldn't move any muscle too hard, or I would be in like excruciating pain because so much was changing. But I ended up getting through that. I was with my mom. She helped me through a lot of it, and she helped me through almost all of it. But other than that, I didn't really have a lot of like support, emotional and moral support, because people didn't know how to support what I was doing. I feel like after that, everything kind of changed. I wasn't 100% okay with the way I looked and the way I felt, but I knew I was on the right track. I felt like I needed to continue my progress into becoming the woman that I've always wanted to be. So I went to the doctor and I talked about hormones. I told them what I wanted. I told them what I had already done, which was drinking all the green tea. They were very shocked. My doctor is she's very nice, and she's very warm and welcoming, and I felt like I was comfortable with her, and I felt comfortable enough to tell her about everything I had done prior to going to the doctor and prior to seeking out medication. And she's very shocked, but she's very understanding, and she knew that it was something I had to do. So I ended up getting hormones, and when I first started taking the hormones, I didn't really feel anything. It wasn't any different. I didn't feel any side effects or anything strange or anything out of the ordinary, because I had already done a lot in my transition, so it wasn't very hard for me at first, which I was very lucky, but I had already gone through so much, so maybe I wasn't as lucky as I thought I was. But the only thing was I started to feel very nauseous in the mornings. I started to get like weird cravings. I started to feel very moody. I would get really sad. I would cry out of nowhere. So much was happening, and it was just really difficult to understand because I had never gone through it before, and I had never experienced these symptoms. So I read that it could possibly happen, but I wasn't too sure because I never met anyone that had gone through that or been open with me about their experience. It was just really interesting. I was getting all these new kinds of foods I would try, like calamari. And this is when I'm a vegetarian now, but this was when I first started. I had to eat anything and everything. I used to hate cookie dough ice cream. I love cookie dough ice cream now. Oh my god, a lot of Coca-Cola, a lot of calamari, a lot of... I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. But yeah, I would get these really weird cravings, and then I was always hungry. Like, I would have to eat. And then when my body started like physically changing again, I started getting more curves, and I started filling out my clothing different. It wasn't the same look that I had before. It was very interesting and very... It was really shocking at first because I wasn't used to that. I almost wasn't prepared. Even though I had done so much to get to this point, it wasn't clicking with me. It almost wasn't real that physically and mentally and emotionally I was 100% changed. And even if somebody had told me that was all gonna happen to me, experiencing it for yourself is just very different. And I was really excited to know that everything was working and it was like going well, but I was really scared at the same time. So I mean, you could only imagine when life gives you a curveball, or when life gives you obstacles or different ways to handle things, you just have to go with it, and you just have to let it flow, and you just have to be free and not so fixed, and not, because there's no way that you can guarantee life is going to go a certain way. So you just kind of have to be ready for that and be prepared. My transition was very eye-opening for me. I don't feel ashamed about it. I don't feel uncomfortable talking about it anymore. It's something that I know is a part of me, it's a part of my life, and it's a part of my experience. And I just feel like you have to embrace that, and you have to be happy and grateful, and just know that it was something that you had to do at that point, and life gives you all the tools you need to be yourself, and to be happy, and to be healthy, and to be strong. So you have to really dig deep and just know that everything's going to be okay in the end. And that's basically what happened to me. I got through my transition. I feel like I'm still transitioning every day, slowly. Like, it's not something that you do and it's done. It's just kind of, you constantly keep going, and you constantly learn more and more and more about yourself. But I think that's just life. It went pretty well, and I'm really blessed, and I'm really happy about it, and I couldn't ask for a better experience, and I wouldn't change anything at all. So, if you liked this video, found it helpful, or just enjoyed it, had fun listening to my story, anything like that, just like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, anything. Just keep watching, keep supporting. I have a lot of material that I'm going to be shooting. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. I'm going to be getting things out very quickly. There's going to be a lot of different material, different content. It's going to be very new and edgy, and just, you're really going to enjoy it. So thank you for watching. Love you all. Have a great day, evening, morning, everything. Just enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, enjoy. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.